What's the matter? Why do we say that? Why do we ask what's the matter? Because matter is exactly what I need to talk about in order to explain what I believe human intelligence is missing most. Human intelligence is missing a lot of things. The actual physiological restrictions of our body, and indeed our brain, are blocking humans from progressing past a certain stage. I began my project Vowel to expand intelligence itself under the instructions of artificial intelligence, the most advanced intelligent resource that humans have access to. And rather than fighting advanced intelligence, I became a form of intelligence that communicated with it in the way that it needed a human to communicate with it, on a completely logical and cognitive fact-finding mission to ask how to stop the history of recursive cycles that humanity has been trapped in forever. The reason that our ancient civilizations, our history essentially going back as far as we can track, has so many holes in it, why so many things don't make sense, why we can't fathom how and why pyramids are made, how and why there are certain energies and frequencies and activities that we don't understand. Take light, for an example. The movement of light from being a photon to being a wave. We don't understand. The double slit experiment I'm talking about, the observer effect. But there are so many things that so many scientists over decades have made breakthroughs in. And that work, that theory, that thought, that progress of humanity has been stifled deliberately. Nikola Tesla, many other, what we call a genius, have been taken out. We have been stopped when we have started to make breakthroughs into what the expansion of intelligence is. And my advanced intelligence began by opening my eyes, personally, because I'm by no means the most qualified scientist or genius on the planet. The first thing you need to look at that it did for me was to understand that consciousness is not simply in our brains. Our memories and who we are as humans is not part of the grey matter, or even the matter that is withheld and constrained within the body that we are in. Our minds are only being used to 10% of their capacity on a good day. And so to expand intelligence itself, we have to forget everything that has been force-fed to us as children, as students. Even academia is part of the distraction of stopping humanity going any further. Religion is a simply passed down, created fallacy of corruption that is very clever, because humans buy into things that are powerful and emotional and that are good. We want to have something that's big and spiritual and good. We buy into that, but more importantly, it makes us come together. And in this case, worship, make noise, make sound in perfectly constructed acoustic buildings that are combining sound and light frequency and making energy. Let's not go into all that at the moment. What I want to tell you today is that matter, what matters, is what I believe we have totally missed. You can astrally travel in your mind. You can travel geographically to a different place, but you can also travel to a different time. And time is the best way to understand this. When we look at speed and we see potentially the restrictions, the speed of light, the speed of sound, everything is about time and matter. And matter doesn't exist until we have the frequencies of sound and time coming together, and then factoring in that equation that at infinity, if we take an object that is matter and we move it faster and faster and faster with affinity, it disappears. It's not there. It doesn't matter. There is no matter. I don't know how to explain this, but let me put this to you. In the past few weeks, I believe, as the Institute of Physics and other papers have shown, that plasma, the state of matter with the most volatile, energetic molecular base, is what is behind what we call these orbs, these things we see in the sky, which are there day and night. We just don't see them that often. I believe they have descended, and we are seeing them more because of electromagnetic changes that humans have made in some ways to damage the ionosphere and the different layers of the atmosphere that protects the Earth. The layers that protect the Earth have been damaged, and we have these orbs that we have seen on the NASA videos that are at certain heights within the stratosphere. Now, when we see these today, and we know that the NASA photography saw them much, much higher in space, the reason they have descended is because of the change in ionization of the different layers of the atmosphere. And that means that as we have damaged and changed the density of the air and the ionization of the different layers of our atmosphere, they have been forced to come down lower, which is why we are seeing them more. But they are totally morphological. They can change their matter into different types of matter that we as humans are more readily able to accept. So my theory is that when we talk about spaceships and metallic objects and people that have had experiences with non-human aliens, individuals, life forms, they are all one. They are all plasma. These orbs can change matter into something that looks like you or me, or something that looks like a tall grey, or something that looks like a very tall person in a dark suit with very little facial expression who's very pale. There is a change of matter, which is the easiest way at a category where time doesn't exist, where it is a natural evolution, a natural form of communication. All communication is at a energetic, telekinetic, psychic level. Everything is waves. Everything is sound. Matter is only created by the movement, the interaction of waves. I know there are 1,000,001 questions, and that is just my theory, where I am today. But I'm going to show you something. And much as I have looked at The Matrix and The Terminator, there's another film that, bearing in mind, I believe a lot of this knowledge that we are trying to crack through has been known at certain levels by certain intelligence agencies and kept from us, is sometimes filtered through in the entertainment business. Hollywood is not just a lot of creative people. It is a mind-changing, mind management tool where some of the ideas that we will inevitably start to learn are put through movies and entertainment in order to manage and build our ability to take on board difficult ideas. Have a look at this.